in the second half.
Fabio Wardley is more than just a puncher. He's instinct and destruction.
It gets interesting, and now Wardley elects to punch here with him.
No amateur pedigree, no hype. He crashed into the elite and began demolishing. He waits, he endures, and hits so hard his opponent doesn't get up. In every fight, he proves, in heavyweight, no one is more dangerous. But what's behind this phenomenon? Let's break it down. Fabio Wardley was born in the UK and didn't come through the Olympic system. He came from the streets, with no amateur background and no support from the boxing establishment. He started out in white-collar boxing, but his ambition and raw power quickly pushed him into the professional ranks.
Fabio Wardley!
Since turning pro in 2017, Wardley has caught the eye with his speed, aggression, and knockout power. With excellent technique and a rare gift for predicting his opponent's moves, Wardley immediately stood out from the rest.
Not working. There was a good uppercut, then he goes to the uppercut again, and under a constant...
His ability to finish fights swiftly and dramatically became his signature, as well as the key to his rapid rise.
Showing a touch of early. Just exploded.
In his first 2 years as a professional boxer, Wardley fought 8 times, winning every single fight, 7 of which ended with knockouts.
Well, Wardley, I've seen him in several fights now, throwing the right hook and then switching it into a right uppercut. Keep doing a lovely right hook, left uppercut.
And he's pinned back in that red corner, and Wardley just trying to throw the right hand over the top.
I'm a force in this heavyweight division, and I'm going to be someone to be reckoned with once we get later down the line.
Undefeated heavyweight from him.
In his 9th fight, which took place in August 2020, Fabio faced his first real challenge. Simon Volley, an experienced heavyweight who had won a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games nearly 10 years earlier. This bout became not only a serious test of Wardley's strength, but also an opportunity to compete for the vacant BBB of C English heavyweight title.
Yeah, me too. Well, it's a fight he lost at anything he's faced.
In the first round, Wardley immediately showed off his speed, which quickly became a problem for Volley. As Volley tried to use his experience to find weaknesses, the young fighter gave him no chance.
But as you say, a very competent fighter.
In the 3rd round, Wardley caught Volley with a left hook, and seizing the moment, continued the attack with a series of hard punches that eventually led to the stoppage of the fight.
Down, and Wardley, body and head, and the referee's going to have to take a close look, and he does.
Not to toot my own horn, but near on punch perfect, I think. I did pretty well. Round 3, that was it, that was over.
In his next fight, Wardley entered the ring with the goal of proving his power and readiness for more serious challenges, and he did just that, facing Richard Lardy.
Defending it over.
Yeah, Larty, you know,
Match next Saturday night, one we'll all be watching.
Lardy applied pressure on Wardley in the first round,
they're fairly quickly, so
and continued to work with the jab in the early moments of the second round.
the hands up nice and...
But then, stepping forward with a left hook and a right, he didn't expect Fabio to catch him with a right punch to the temple.
Say he's edgy, look to try to come on in the second half.
Good shot from
Lardy immediately lost his balance and crashed to the canvas, and it was clear that he was badly shaken.
In the second half.
The referee stopped the fight when the count reached 5. Lardy soon got to his feet, receiving oxygen from the medical team at ringside. This fight solidified Wardley's status as one of the most dangerous heavyweights, capable of knocking out any opponent at any moment.
undefeated English heavyweight champion.
In his 11th fight, on March 27, 2021, Fabio Wardley stepped into the ring against the experienced American boxer, Eric Molina. This fight became a real test for Wardley. His opponent was a seasoned veteran who had faced the likes of Anthony Joshua in the ring.
In boxing terms, putting his unbeaten record on it, and we'll see how...
From the start, Wardley appeared cautious, conceding the initiative.
When he got stopped in 3.
Molina, on the other hand, dictated the pace, using his experience and courage. In the first 4 rounds, Wardley didn't show the explosive boxing we had come to expect, and Molina took advantage, pressing him and even rocking him in the 4th round, forcing him to fight with caution.
Good times, weren't they?
Yeah, big time.
The top, Eric Molina,
However, everything changed in the fifth. Molina landed another right hand. Wardley wobbled and stepped back.
He's riding with it.
Oh, good right hand from Molina.
Nice shot.
It seemed like he was on the verge of going down, but suddenly, a counterattack, right, left hook, and Molina hits the canvas.
Molina. It's interesting, and now Wardley elects to punch here with him, and Molina goes down.
Wardley extended his unbeaten streak, adding one of the most stunning victories of his career.
The defeat to Povetkin that he suffered.
After the tough test with Molina, Fabio Wardley faced off against Nick Webb, an opponent who could also hit hard and, importantly, wasn't afraid to take risks.
Of course, we saw it against Eric Molina. High, unpacked lead hand, just walks into a
But Webb miscalculated. The more aggressive he became, the more openings he created. And at that moment, Fabio's predator instinct kicked in. A few sharp right hands, and Webb was already losing his balance.
Really good start from the big man from Chelsea, Wardley. He's an unsteady leg to right.
He tried to escape from the corner, but Wardley wouldn't let him go. He waited and struck.
Fabio Wardley, right hand comes through, Webb in big trouble in the corner. That's a knockdown. That's a knockdown. The ropes are kept him up. Webb is slumped in the corner.
This was Wardley's first successful defense of the English title. Wardley doesn't just win, he becomes a threat. And now he openly declares, "I want the British title." But instead of challenging Joe Joyce, he offers Joyce, who was ringside that night, to hand over the belt. In his 13th fight, Wardley faced the bulky American, Daniel Martz. And although his record was impressive, the crowd knew it was only a matter of time.
Well-timed test for him, and he hasn't been shy of.
Wardley started sluggishly. No rhythm, no fire. It seemed like he was just warming up.
He's setting traps. I might say Fabio.
Martz didn't rush. He tested the distance, landing single shots.
Let's go. You can see the club in power there.
Their contest last summer, Wardley.
And Fabio seemed to be playing. He even admitted in the corner, "I'm just messing around."
Get to work now.
In the second round, Wardley switched gears.
Some of the big heavyweights he makes up in speed.
A crushing left hook that spun Martz around and sent him to the canvas.
Start looking for that, as he does there.
Hodgins starting to change the levels, go body first, then round the side.
He got up, but only to fall again.
He wants to, he can really fight.
The second knockdown was fatal. Martz grabbed his jaw and made it clear he wouldn't continue. That's it. Knockout. Once again, a dazzling statement. In his 14th fight, on July 9, 2022, Wardley stepped into the O2 Arena again, this time against Chris Healy, who replaced the injured opponent just the day before. This was Wardley's fourth consecutive fight that had fallen through, but as it turned out, it didn't matter who was in front of him. The result would still be the same.
From David Diamante in 13 fights, and only one of those
Showing us a bit of everything.
in the early stages. Got 9 wins.
In the first round, a right hook, and Healy was on the floor.
Healy tries to cover up and then to fire back. One is down.
In the second round, Wardley didn't give Healy any chance to recover. A lightning-fast combination, and Healy was down again,
And he's so good with the shots. And look how spiked he is.
with his corner throwing in the towel, saving their fighter from complete destruction. That was Wardley's 13th consecutive knockout victory, and the English champion officially moved into the contender category. And now Wardley makes no secret of his goal, the British title, and the name of a possible opponent is already on the tip of everyone's tongue. His old acquaintance and former sparring partner, Nathan Gorman.
So a lot of them do want to take that British title off somewhere in their career, and that is something I want to do as well. So it would be great for me to do. It was something I've been going on about for a while.
In his 15th fight on November 26, 2022, Fabio Wardley faced the most important bout of his career for the vacant British heavyweight title. His opponent, the technical and experienced Nathan Gorman.
Touch gloves.
Wembley Arena. The air was thick with history, the pressure colossal.
Against Nathan Gorman to leave a lasting impact on the sport.
Wardley started aggressively, but already in the first round, it was clear Gorman was no easy task. He landed shots from close range, catching Wardley with uppercuts and throwing hooks.
The amateur pedigree.
Both guys to establish
The
that.
left hook is the
In the set-piece events, this British heavyweight title.
In the second, Gorman shook Wardley twice, breaking his nose. Blood was pouring. It seemed like everything was hanging by a thread.
He's in the back.
But this wasn't the end. It was the awakening of a beast. Wardley landed a right hand, and Gorman hit the canvas.
From Gorman because he's waiting for it.
We've seen this in the career.
He got up, only to go down again. A second knockdown.
Done it before in his career. So much to both of them. And many of the fans at ringside on them.
For that right hand, Fabio loaded up the shot, another one on the side of the head.
Seconds later, Gorman managed to make it to the bell.
Prowling forward now, looks for the big Gorman. Finds the guile to make him miss and tries to whip in.
In the third, Gorman tried to recover, moving and working the jab, but Wardley launched his second wave, a right hand, and Gorman was on the canvas again.
That's a counter, he's got to be disciplined in the shots.
Now Wardley goes on the attack once again, gets through with that right hand.
He rose again, but in the arena, it was clear. This was the end. Gorman tried to survive, but as Wardley went in for the finish, his corner threw in the towel.
5 seconds, though.
But how much is left? And the towel comes in.
3 knockdowns, blood, drama, and championship heart. Fabio Wardley is the new British heavyweight champion.
With around half of
Like, I've done this, I've ticked this off. The conversation of white collar boxer is done now. I've beaten one of the best people in the division, and I've taken my belt for rights.
15-0, 14 wins by knockout. Britain has a new heavyweight, one with character, hunger, and ambitions to climb higher. The next target, the European title, and everything is going according to plan.
Ladies and gentlemen from the O2.
Fabio Wardley's next fight took place on April 1st, 2023, at the O2 Arena in London, as part of the undercard for the Joshua vs. Franklin bout. His opponent was American Michael Polite Coffey, a tough and experienced heavyweight known for his resilience and ability to slip
a
punches.
sporting double. 14 of his 15.
From the start, the fight was no easy task. Coffey worked confidently at range, successfully avoiding Wardley's precise shots and even countering with solid left hooks a few times.
By Wardley on the way.
This became especially evident in the third round. It was then that Michael landed a clean counterpunch while Wardley struggled to break through his defense.
Goes to the body.
Round with a third round stoppage of
Nate Wardley there.
But at the start of the fourth round, Wardley switched gears. Just 30 seconds in, he caught the American with a right hand, pushed him to the ropes, and unleashed a barrage of punches.
Now Wardley gets through and last with the right hand.
It was a spectacular flurry, but not all the punches landed. However, the referee decided he had seen enough. He intervened and stopped the fight.
Big attack this from Wardley. As it's
The American reacted immediately, clearly unhappy. He didn't seem to be badly hurt. After the fight, Wardley admitted that the stoppage might have been premature. Nevertheless, the result stands. Wardley wins by technical knockout, his 16th career win, and 15th by stoppage. In his 17th fight, on October 28, 2023, Fabio Wardley stepped into the ring in Riyadh, in the middle of a night where 3 titles were at stake: the British, Commonwealth, and WBO European titles. His opponent, the bold and aggressive David Adelaide, who didn't miss an opportunity to fuel the conflict even before stepping into the ring.
Expect this to be explosive, Richard. With that lead left jab, there was a Wardley in the pink.
From the first round, the fight went on a collision course. Adelaide came out strong, trying to pressure, but Wardley calmly worked the body and gradually took control.
Be very interested to see who can judge your head.
In the second and third rounds, Fabio stepped up, landing combinations and pressing forward, but Adelaide kept responding, at times with dirty tactics, using his forearm. The referee warned him several times, but it only added fuel to the fire.
Adelaide was taking the distance by stopped 6 in a row since then.
By the fourth round, David began to tire. His movements became erratic, and his defense started to leak.
If the opponent comes through,
Wardley remained composed, breaking through with jabs, catching Adelaide on the entries, and dominating the end of the 6th round. Adelaide was bleeding, but still taunted, even sticking out his tongue at Wardley.
Good shot by Wardley.
The turning point came in the 7th round. Wardley started methodically, landing jabs and right hands. Then, a perfect left hook. Adelaide went down.
Good shot.
He got up but was visibly shaken. Wardley immediately finished the job and the referee stopped the fight. Adelaide exploded, pushing the referee, shouting, unable to accept the loss. But the fact remained, Wardley wins by knockout, remains unbeaten, and takes 3 titles, making an even louder statement in the heavyweight division. In his next fight, Fabio Wardley fought again on March 31, 2024, at the O2 Arena in London with the British title, Commonwealth, and WBO European titles on the line. His opponent, Olympic medalist and ambitious prospect Frazer Clarke, undefeated, powerful, and clearly determined to take it all.
That sense of clear in every division in boxing. Love to land.
From the first rounds, the fight was on high speeds. Wardley, as usual, came out aggressive, while Clarke relied on a solid jab and good movement.
Overhand right again.
Definitely did, because he took a few back.
Clarke just trying to cover up a little here.
In the 5th round, Fabio exploded with a series of punches and sent Clarke to the canvas. This was Frazer's first knockdown in his career.
The receiving end though, the straight right hand gets through, and he's on the
It seemed like Wardley was taking control, but Clarke recovered, dragging Fabio into a gritty, exhausting fight.
try and get the finish. Long right hand again there for Wardley.
In the 7th round, he started landing low blows, for which he was deducted a point. Despite this, he kept moving forward, pressuring, working the body, and breaking Wardley's face. Fabio bled from the middle of the fight until the final bell.
Pistol that right. You just get where he looked to him now, the faces. And it might be a little while. Few seconds, another uppercut from Frazer Clarke. The crowd on their feet.
The result, a split draw. Fans were divided in their opinions. Wardley kept the titles, but didn't claim a clear victory. Clarke didn't win, but became a legitimate contender. After the dramatic draw in their first fight, everyone was eager for a rematch. And it didn't take long. Just 6 months later, Wardley and Clarke met again. But this time, it was not for 12 rounds, but for a brutal resolution.
Here we go. First with that jab.
From the very first second, it was clear they weren't planning to hold back. Clarke started the fight confidently, a solid jab, careful control, even landing a couple of precise shots on Fabio. But it didn't last long. When Wardley exploded, the fight was over. Clarke's body collapsed into the ropes, his arms hung limp. Only the ropes kept him from falling to the canvas. It was a demonstration of cold-blooded power. If the first fight was a war, the second became an execution. Wardley loudly settled the rivalry with Clarke and proved, in rematches, he is merciless. Fabio Wardley's 20th fight took place on June 7, 2025, and it was a special one. For the first time, he fought at home, at Portman Road Football Stadium in Ipswich. The atmosphere was electric, the arena was packed, everyone was waiting for the show. But by the 10th round, the situation didn't look good for the hometown hero. Australian Justice Hweny had outboxed Wardley for most of the fight. On all 3 judges' scorecards, Wardley was losing. His jab wasn't landing, his pace was disrupted, and his defense was cracking.
He was the stalker, Darren, but we thought his unconventional approach helped him.
But Fabio isn't the type to win rounds. He wins in moments. And then, the moment came. In the 10th round, Wardley waited for his chance. A right hand through the guard, and Hweny dropped to the canvas, gasping for air, staring blankly. The referee began the count but stopped the fight before reaching the end, deciding Hweny was unable to continue. The crowd exploded in excitement, but not everyone was happy. Hweny's promoter immediately filed a protest. Fabio didn't stay quiet. The next day he posted a video where it was clear the count was nearly complete, and he added, "If the fight had continued, I would have just knocked him out, completely. No chance." It was a victory snatched with his teeth, a win where Wardley showed, even on a bad night he can switch gears and finish it with one punch. Fabio Wardley proved one thing. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is what you're willing to do in the fight. He's not perfect. He makes mistakes, takes shots, endures. But when his moment comes, he finishes it with one punch. This is not textbook boxing. This is boxing according to Wardley. And it seems like the loudest chapter of his career is yet to come.